Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is GullYY here. Welcome back to another epic Polytopia video. We're doing another 1v1 replay breakdown. This was just a random match that I had not too long ago. I wanted to go ahead and break it down. It was one of the weirdest games I think I've ever played. So yeah, here we are. We are the Cyan Barter, and we're second, so we actually start with a disadvantage here. Now, just analyzing my spawn really quickly, it looks pretty decent. You know, I have 4 forests, I have some pretty good resource indicators, so we start by just leveling up the capital, obviously. And we're just going to be looking at my perspective for this replay to start here. I go ahead and I move my warrior east, and that might seem like kind of a weird play. Basically, I think I have villages like here and maybe around this area. I could also have one over here based on this fruit. So I want my first warrior to like move and pick up this village and then like maybe come up here and get this village, while my other warrior goes this way. So, I move my warrior east. It doesn't exactly reveal what I want it to reveal. I could have instead maybe put my warrior south, but if I put my warrior south, I am revealing these 3 tiles, which means I could be potentially missing a village on this tile maybe, and we don't want that. South is definitely the safer choice, but I don't play safe. We ball. So yeah, I go ahead and I pick up climbing, move on to the mountain ruin. The reason why I say this is such a weird barter game is because obviously we haven't gotten forestry yet. We're going climbing as our first tech, basically praying that the mountain rune gives us something good. And I think that was the right play, because if I had not gotten climbing and just kept going east with my warrior, it just would have found nothing over here. And as we'll see, our opponent is actually in this corner, so that warrior would have been useless and we would be in a very bad spot. But yeah, we go ahead and get climbing and move our other warriors southwest. Mountain Ruin gives us Veteran Swordsman, and we find another village with our other warrior. And then our opponent moves into our vision. Now, I'm not saying this game is just weird because, oh, I got climbing. It gets far weirder, don't you worry. So Veteran Swordsman isn't a bad reward this early in the game just because it gives us another unit to explore with, but the fact that our opponent is in the east corner means we can't really do much with it. I could obviously just send it straight to its capital, but on its own, it's not going to do anything. It would force them to train units maybe. The goal with this Veteran Swordsman, I know our opponent is going to be expanding in this region over here. So I basically just want to send this swordsman down this way just to cause them problems while they're expanding, is my basic goal with it. We pick up forestry, upgrade the capital, take resources, standard barter stuff, then we pick up riding and train a rider, because, you know, riding is pretty based. Now something fun happens, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and upgrade this East City, and for my upgrade reward, I'm gonna take an Explorer. That doesn't seem very weird on the surface. So when I get this Explorer, the game is basically gonna look at the nearest fog tiles to the city. We have this one here that's 2 tiles away, this one's 2 tiles away, this one's 2 tiles away, and I'm counting the space in between the fog and the city. So we have this one here 2 tiles away, this one's 2 tiles away, this one over here is 2 tiles away, and then we have this one up here that's also 2 tiles away. And so the Explorer is gonna pick one of these fog tiles to go towards, basically. So there's 7 options, essentially. So you can think of it as a 1 in 7 chance of the Explorer going north to these 2 random fog tiles up here, which would obviously be useless. Can you guess what the Explorer does? Wow, that was really cool. So yeah, Explorer absolutely nay-nays us. Big sad. Now that rune gives free spirit. That's gonna give us maybe some funny night options down the road. And we see our opponent gets a giant up, which is not good. So he might be going for a more mathematics game. We haven't seen any riders come from him yet, so that's definitely not out of the question. We're going for riders and roads because funny. Our swordsman is doing its job. It's sort of causing them problems down here for this city. And yeah, we're just gonna keep trying to get a bit of vision, keep expanding. There's roads, so we'll eco up a little bit. Now let's go ahead and look at our opponent's city here. If you've watched my video on unit movement, you know that this rider cannot reach this city because Mr. Warrior here is blocking it. And that's very important because if I'm able to get another unit over here, I can siege this city with my swordsman. So if you are my opponent and you know you want to move your warrior somewhere, what's a good place to put it? You could either like keep it where it is or maybe put it onto this mountain even. It would force me to move this warrior here with roads if I wanted to siege, so it would cost me a few more stars. What you don't want to do is put it south. And that means I'm going to be able to siege with my rider. It's going to be a cheap, cost-effective siege. It could have made me spend stars on it, but now I'm just doing it with a rider that I'm going to use anyway, because I'll be able to bounce it and do some exploring. And, you know, we see that play out. I decided not to get any tech prior to capturing those cities. I just want to keep growing our economy. Explorer here isn't bad. It shows that he's on maybe 4 or 5 cities. We reveal his capital and another giant from him. We don't have a single giant up yet. We need to start getting those if we want to defend. Like, I am currently 2nd in score. He goes ahead and he roads his giant forward, which now I'm kind of freaking out thinking I might lose this city up here. And he has this giant here ready to kill our swordsman next turn. But the fact that we capture that city means we're going to be able to get our network monument this turn, which means we're going to be able to get a giant in our capital, and then we can giant in this city over here using the monument. Now, there is a case to be made that maybe I just wait until next turn to make the giant, because after that road connection, we only need 1 more population in our capital for a giant. And I'm going to move on to this village, so I'll capture it next turn. And then I would have 2 monuments for this city, and then I could giant there, and this giant is essentially no longer a threat because of our giant. But this is what I did, so this is what we review. I basically just wanted to get some giants on my side. I knew that if he took this city back with his giant, I would then be able to road my giant onto this mountain. Whenever he captured the city, I would be able to get a free hit on it, which would be pretty good value for me, because giants don't like being hit by other giants. They have 5 attack and 4 defense, so we are going to have some problems up here, though. If we go ahead and just predict what our opponent is going to do, he's going to move here, I'm going to road here, and then he's going to move on to the city. I'll be able to hit, but he'll still capture. So I'm losing that city, but I am weakening his giant, so maybe I'll be able to take the city back in a few turns if he does do what I predicted he'll do. So we're making good progress in the south, at least. We've cut off most of his expansion. We got all these cities down here. He is, unfortunately, giving us some trouble, though. He did what we'd predict. He went ahead and moved on to our city, and now he's got this city back. He's also training archers. And I remember at this point in the game, I was thinking about going math just for, like, eco and giants. But as soon as the archers came out, I was like, okay, we got that free spirit rune earlier. We're just going to go for chivalry. Because obviously, you know, with mathematics, we'd get catapults to defend against his giants. But the archers might complicate that a little bit. So yeah, I went ahead and I picked up chivalry. I went ahead and I trained a warrior in this city. I really should have trained a rider, but whatever. He's gonna try and do some funny things in the south, but we're able to take care of it, thankfully. He does get my north city, though, so things are somewhat even right now. Now, I make the decision to siege this city back with my giant. Now let's see what he does. He leaves my giant on 1 HP, and then he resigns. Very frustrating when you need to kill a crucial unit and leave it on 1 HP. But here's the thing, though. He could have killed my giant. Not only could he have killed my giant, he could have killed it with the same units he used to bring it down to 1 HP. See, in Polytopia, attack order actually matters quite a bit. Let's go ahead and analyze what he does here. So the giant's at 29 HP. He's gonna hit with 3 archers, and now the giant's at 17 HP. Then he makes the decision to road his 1 HP warrior down and hit. And then his giant hits my giant. Let's go ahead and bust out the Polytopia calculator here. If he had done everything the same, hit with 3 archers, the only difference is you hit with your giant first, and then you hit with the warrior, and that will allow you to kill the giant. So yeah, attack order in Polytopia matters quite a bit, even if it's just a 1 HP difference. You know, most people are like, oh, 1 HP, do I really care about 1 HP? Well, if you need to kill a giant that's on your city and you bring it down to 1 HP, yes, you do care about 1 HP, evidently. So attack order is always something you gotta keep in mind with Polytopia. You can use the Polytopia calculator, it'll help you find the most optimal route. It's on the PolyChampions Discord server. So yeah, that is where this game ends. It certainly was a strange one, both the way I opened and the way I chose to get my giants up. And in terms of this last combat interaction here, it was quite funny. But yeah, that was the game. I hope you all did enjoy. If you did, be sure to hit the like button down below and subscribe for more epic Polytopia replays. I hope you learned something, and hopefully now you'll play the game a little bit better because of this video. If you want to support myself or the channel directly, you can become a channel member by hitting the join button down below. And I'll see you all in the next video. Have a spectacular day.